All right. Okay, here we go. And welcome back, friends, to RPGamers, the retrospective gamers that just talk about video games that we love and retrospectively discuss games and why we love gaming and what it means to us. I'm here with my co-host Broderick.
Hey everyone.
Welcome back, welcome back. So today's going to be more of a casual discussion just because life's been kind of busy for both of us, and so we're going to do kind of a backlog discussion where we talk about the games that we haven't played, that have been out for a long time, or games that we've recently played that we heard a lot of exciting things about and have just been sitting on our backlog for a while. This doesn't have to be anything recent. We're just going to be talking about games that we'll recommend to you that, hey, this has been out for a while, you should probably play it. It took me this long, you should probably give it a shot. And with that going, Bro, would you like to start or would you like me to start?
You can go ahead and start. I'm interested to see what you're going to talk about.
Alright, so I have a couple on here. The biggest one that really sparked this discussion for me personally, which is the one I figured, and this one I'm not really going to go into spoilers for your sake, but for audiences, it should be fine. You can't really see on my screen. That's okay. So the game in question that really brought up this discussion for me was a game that came out in 2014. I'm barely playing it now. It's The Wolf Among Us, a Telltale game, or a Telltale game series, I should say.
Okay.
And it is my new favorite Telltale. I'm not big on these point-and-click games anymore. They're just they're not that engaging. They're not super fun to play. But in terms of the lore, the story, and the writing, and the characters, this is really good. This is really, really good. It's definitely probably my favorite. My original was just the original Walking Dead. That came out before this, and then this one came out. This is really good. Again, without really spoiling anything, I can't really say much, but it takes place in this world where like fairy tale fables are real. So, for example, there's the Big Bad Wolf, Beauty and the Beast, Snow White, Ichabod Crane, Toad, and various other characters that I will leave out. But there's a lot of depth to it, and I was pleasantly surprised. This is something completely up your alley, because it takes all those fairy tale, whimsical things and turn them into like really dark, really gritty people. Not like the heartfelt stuff. Not like the Disney-esque type of stuff. It's more like the deranged, twisted, evil sort of thing. And I know you're kind of into that when people do that with those classic characters from like different fables and stuff. It's a whole new take on it, so don't take anything from their original movies or placements or stories and put them in here. They're kind of just new interpretations of these characters. You play as the Big Bad Wolf, which is really cool. The title is very meta, and I love it with the story that it tells. There's a lot of cool things and a lot of cool choices. I got the platinum. I think it took me 12 hours. I played it in pretty much one sitting from start to finish. It's a really fast game. You'll get through like the first two chapters after 2 dialogue options, and then the third chapter is like a quick time event thing, and then the next ones are just like big choices that you have to make, or vice versa, big choices and then the QTE. But it's really good. It's really fast. It's really easy platinum. I got it, like I said, in my first just go of it in the same day, because I got the platinum for Chronicles Before the Ashes. Said, you know what, let me just jump in this and let me get it done. Was expecting just to play and just say, I finally got off my thing. Love it. It's really good. It's really good. I would recommend, if you haven't played it, it's worth at least trying. Like I said, it's really fast. It's an easy platinum, so if you're a platinum trophy hunter, cool. If you just like Telltale games in general, I'm assuming you've already played this one. I'm assuming a lot of people have already played this, and I'm just jumping on this really, really late. But it's really, really good. It's really fun. This is the one that's like, wow, I waited this long to play this, and I should have had this done already. It's always on sale. I got it for like $3-4 on sale. So definitely for you, this is a must play for you. I think this is exactly up your alley in terms of telltales and storytelling. It's a very noir, detective style type of game. It's really, really good. It's dark. It's gritty. It's literally the stuff you like. I think this is something you should definitely jump on and play if you have the chance to. I know you have it. I know you bought it on sale too. Download it immediately and play it right away. It's that good. Even if you play it like differently how I do, where I did it, you could do it in. I'll play just one episode one day. Wait, while I'll play another episode. But that's a big one for me. Is The Wolf Among Us. That's probably my biggest one because it's been damn near 7 years since it came out.
Yeah, honestly, I'll probably, because now both you and our friend Preston have been kind of pushing me to play it. So, and I have it. I think I probably bought it around the same time you did because I got it for, I think it was like $3. And like I've always kind of known like the general like story idea of it, but never like really how it all actually like comes down and all that.
It's really deep. It's really deep.
And so I'm working through the Bioshock 2 Platinum right now. I think I'm on the 3rd or 4th level, and I think there's only 7. And so I was thinking probably as soon as I finish that up, I'll probably jump into that and probably the same thing, just clean it up real quick, and then...
It's a good pacer.
There's
not a lot of replay stuff you have to do. I think there's only two episodes where I think it's only 2. There's 2 episodes where you have to go back and make the other choice that you made. The other ones are just make sure you do things in a certain order and you're done. And doing them in a certain order doesn't hurt the story. So I would just do it just for the platinum's sake, just so you can get it done faster. But what I did was, after I finished episode 1, I went back and did a new save file and redid the chapter that I needed to do to get the trophy, and then I just deleted that, went back to my original save and continued on. And then after episode 2, I did the same thing. Episode 3 and on is just make sure you do things in the right order. And it could be really small things. It's not like really tedious is I guess what I'm trying to get at. I end up having 12 hours on it, but that's also me taking breaks in between to go check on the baby and and take care of like Kirsten and stuff. So you can get it done really fast if you just kind of blow through it. I think that's all I'm gonna say because it's just for like giving you like a fresh idea into it. It's got a lot of twists, it's got a lot of turns, and once you think it's wrapping up, something else will happen. And it's really cool. It's really, really cool. I think it's a fun one. So definitely would recommend it to you. Definitely 100% to you and to everyone else. It's an easy plot. It's got a really good story. If you like that dark, gritty noir type stuff, here it is. It's really, really good.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely something that I'll jump into next. And then I've always heard that's one of the better Telltale games. So
yeah,
I think you can still buy it. I'm not sure. But once I finish Bioshock 2, I'll jump into it. So, alright. I'll go ahead and jump into a game that I was going to talk about. And so this one, I played the remastered version. The original version came out in 2009, but the remastered version came out in 2019, so take it which way it took me longer to play. Honestly, I knew about it early on, but I just never really played it. And it was more of just kind of interest over time built up, and I finally bought it on a sale probably a few months ago for probably $5-6 if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is Ghostbusters the video game remastered. And I knew kind of going into it that it's a decent, like, kind of tie-in video game, whatever. Um, but pretty much it was written or was made by a studio called Terminal Reality. And then, of course, Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, like, helped with, like, rewrites or kind of, like, supervised the writing of the game and all that and kind of just made sure it like realistically stayed within the universe because I think it's canon to the Ghostbusters universe.
It is, yes. Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty much for if anybody doesn't know, the kind of general story of the game takes place 2 years after Ghostbusters 2. And so it's 1991, and pretty much Ray and Egon, the two like kind of scientific like Ghostbusters, they hire on like a new recruit to pretty much be like a guinea pig like tester for the team and kind of make sure all their new like inventions and all that like actually work and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you pretty much play through as a character just called like the Rookie and kind of just whatever random nickname you get throughout the story. One of the best things about it is pretty much all of like the returning like characters from the universes are all the original actors. So like the original or the Ghostbusters are like Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, and Ernie Hudson, and then the receptionist, I can't remember what her name was. That's the same person. Pretty much for the most part, anybody from like the movies came back and did their roles, but pretty much a lot of the things that I heard about it was that it's essentially like Ghostbusters 3 in a way.
Yep.
It's kind of just like really good like tie-in. It fits like within the universe and everything. It's just kind of fun to play, and a lot of the jokes, like if you know like the universe and all that, are really funny because it's also basically fan service the game, and because it's a lot, you fight a lot of like the kind of iconic like bosses. Of course, the main like villain or main ghost of the game is Ivo Shandor and Gozer the Destroyer from the first one.
Yep.
And so it's a lot of it's kind of fan service because a lot of like the like jokes and like dialogue between the Ghostbusters and the game is basically a lot of like references to like like a lot of like the jokes from the movies and all that. Like the first level takes place in the Hotel Sedgwick where they originally encountered Slimer in the first movie, and you kind of like go back to like a similar like hallway setting in Bill Murray's character, Peter. He's like, oh, I'm not getting slimed this time. He's like, I think the new guy should go. And it's kind of just like a really like funny thing because you end up 5 minutes later, like Peter ends up getting slimed anyway, and he's just like, it's just a whole like funny exchange that happens between them all. And yeah, it's pretty much like a lot of like just similar situations happen, and they'll kind of like joke on it. And it's good like if you know the universe and like are a fan of it, but kind of just the overall like comedy of it's still pretty good. But other than that, it was just pretty like everything you would expect of wanting a good Ghostbusters game.
No kidding.
The proton like cannon thing, it feels really good to use and all. It's really fun, like with all the different little upgrades and basically little skills that you get. It's actually really easy platinum too if you're into that kind of thing. I think I did it in like 3-4 days, and it's not hard at all either. Just if you do it in the way that I did, because there's 2 trophies where you have to get either over like a certain amount of property damage or under a certain amount, and you have I think 5 missions where it counts property damage. And so I saved one of the trophies, which was get less than 100,000 property damage in like one playthrough or whatever. I kind of just saved that for my final run. That way I could just have like an easy little like, let me just have fun with the game one more time before I put it down and get to the rest of everything else.
Yeah.
And on the I think second or third mission. No, the second mission. As I'm sitting there just fighting a ghost, I'm like, at this point, maybe $400 in property damage just out of accidental like trying to trap a ghost and hitting like boxes or something. And it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. I can take that this early on. And anyway, so I'm in this mission is in Times Square, and you're kind of fighting literally right in it for the most part. So I'm sitting there just trying to be like as careful as I can, like not really try to hit anything. And you get this ability called the Boson Dart, which is basically kind of like a little like RPG type of ability for um, the proton blaster.
Right.
And as I'm shooting at a ghost, I go and shoot one off real quick to stun it. And like right at the last second, the ghost kind of like bolts to the right a little bit. And my thing goes right by it, and I'm just like, oh no, because at this point I'm aimed like right at a building, and once I hit it, I kind of just look up at the corner of the screen. I just see the number going up and up, and I'm just like, I have to restart already. I was like, I made it 2 missions and screwed up, and it stopped right at like I think $82,000. So I was like, you know what? No, I think I can handle that. Like, it's not too bad. There's only one more mission where I can like where I have to be really careful, but other than that, this is fine. And so I barely scraped through that. I think when I finished, I had like $92,000 in damage, and it was
Pretty
just like,
close,
oh, well, I
yeah.
mean, realistically, that's like 20, like, well, probably like 15, 20,000 in my own like accidental like mistakes or whatever. So, um, man, I mean, it's either way, it's a fun game. Um, Honestly, I kind of just picked it up as a joke just to play it, and I mean, I like the Ghostbusters series anyway, so I kind of just wanted to see if it was like what I've always heard it is.
So I played that originally, not quite when it came out, but close to when it came out. And yeah, it was really good. It is exactly what you expect it to be. It is a fun Ghostbusters game. I'm glad that it's funny that after they made the really bad one based on the 2016 movie, they went ahead and just remastered the original one, and I
Right.
find that to be pretty funny. But that is, yeah. I think that there's I think that there's like a real fun subtlety to it. With like it being a canonized thing and the jokes and the goofs and stuff. So it's been a long time since I played it, but it's really good. Also, with that being said, Afterlife is out. I think it's still out in figures. Pretty damn good Ghostbusters movie. Pretty damn good
I've heard
movie in
so.
general. Really, really good.
I gotta try to watch that at some point.
It's
But
really, really good. It's really good. I
eh,
loved it.
um, before we got on, I was just looking up the Ghostbusters game just to kind of get my like dates and everything right with it. And apparently, it was either sometime today or yesterday. I guess Ernie Hudson said that they're working on a new game, so who
I
knows
think I
where it's
heard that
going.
too, actually. But yeah, it's still playing. Yeah, we saw it. I think we saw it. Not opening night, but no, actually, it might have been. No, it was like 3 days after opening night. It's really good. It's did not think it was gonna be anything crazy. It was pretty phenomenal. So that's a good one. That's if you basically if you love Ghostbusters, you're kind of required to play that game, and you like playing video games, you're kind of required. It's pretty fun. Like it's been years since I played it. My co-host Brod has more of a grasp on it than I do, but it yeah it's pretty fun. It's a fun time. So that's awesome. So there's a couple that I have left that I they're kind of one's kind of like ironically funny. They're both kind of ironically funny, actually, to be honest. So one game came out in 2016. I got the collector's edition for it. Did not play it for a full year after getting the collector's edition for it. I don't know why I did this, but I'm a big fan of the games. It's not really a series because they're not really. People like to say they're intertwined and connected, but they're really not. It's more like a shared universe type thing, but they're not interwoven stories. The game is The Last Guardian. So I got The Last Guardian Collector's Edition. The statue's right here, actually. And I don't know why I didn't play it right away. I got the Collector's Edition. I did an unboxing for it, and I showed it off, and it just sat there. The game just sat there in my backlog, just waiting to be played. I think the big thing was, I was getting through Uncharted 4. Oh, there's this other game that I want to get to. Oh, there's this one, blah, blah, blah. Got college going on. I was still like a freshman in college, technically, blah, blah, blah. And I just did not get to it. Finally played it like a year later, and I hated myself for not playing it sooner. It is a masterpiece of a game. I kind of want to go back and try and get the platinum for it. If not get the platinum, I just want to just replay it. It's really, really good. It is made by the studio that did Eco and Shadow of the Colossus. So if you like those games, which are both incredible, amazing games, this one is just it's insane. It's really heartfelt. It's emotional. I feel like not a lot of people have played it. I feel like this game didn't get a ton of attention, and I wanted to get more attention. I think this is like, for our friend Preston, this is like a perfect Preston game. I think Jose would get emotionally attached to it too. I think you would enjoy it for the most part. I think it's just a story and a game worth experiencing at least once. This is something I want to get back to eventually. If you have a PS5, it's free on PS5. You get it for free. I have this the steelbook copy still with me, and I can put it in, download it whenever. You can beat it. So there's different trophies for time stuff. There's a trophy for beat it in 30 hours or less, beat it in 15 hours less, beat it in 5 hours or less. So you can beat it in 5 hours technically. But that's if you know the routes and you know what to do. It's really not that long of a game, to be honest. I beat it. I got the trophy for 15 hours or less. I don't know what my official runtime was. Because it looks like I started on the 10th, and then I didn't go back to it till the 14th, based on my trophies. And then I finished it on the 15th at 12 a.m. So I pretty much, I sat down and just pretty much busted through it. I knew I wasn't going to be in 5 hours, though. That's maddening. But that's something I might try and do. We'll see. But if I'm going to do it, it's going to be 2 playthroughs where I'm going to focus on getting all the other trophies and just playing it again, experiencing it again. It's got really cool action set pieces. It's just fun. It's heartfelt. The twist ending is so insane. It's so insane. It's really, really cool. So it's a game I would definitely recommend to everyone. It took me like well over a year after buying. I bought the collector's edition, and I don't know why I didn't play it right away, but I played it pretty much a year afterwards. And if you have a PS5, like I said, it's free. You have no reason not to at least try it, especially if you like Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, which are some of my favorite masterclass games. Eco is incredible. Shadow of the Colossus is the most popular one, of course, and then The Last Guardian's their newest one, and it's really, really good. And then obviously we got a remake for Shadow of the Colossus, and that was incredible. Blue Point did such an amazing tribute to that game. It felt like I was playing it for the first time ever again, even though it's literally the same exact game. But Last Guardian, try it, play it, love it. It's really good.
Yeah, that's one that I've been thinking of. It was kind of like I'd always like see it there in the, the PS Plus collection.
Yeah.
And I kind of look at it and I'll just be like, oh, I'll get to that eventually. And I was kind of just falling in that pit of like, eventually I'll get there, but I don't know, I think that's one I'll probably move up a little bit, because I've been kind of just wanting something like different than what I normally play, and I think that's probably a lot. Yeah, I was like, that's probably basically something I'm really looking for.
There's no combat. It's really just a big platformer.
Yeah.
And well, there is, but I mean, you don't do
Not
any.
like the kind of traditional,
No.
like, yeah, what I normally
You have to
expect
just
out
like
of
run
like
away.
combat and games and all that.
You just run away. You can't fight at all. There's no fighting option. You just have to run away.
Yeah.
But no, it's really good. It's beautiful. It's got great action set pieces. The story will hit you hard at the end. I think that is when stuff gets really serious. Because you don't really they don't really it's very ambiguous. You don't really know what's going on. I much prefer games when they do that because the world tells you the story. Games like, again, Eco and Shadow of the Colossus and The Last Guardian, and then obviously like the Dark Souls series, the Bloodborne and Demon Souls and stuff like that, and Chronicles for the Ashes, Remnant from the Ashes, like those type of games that just have very ambiguous storytelling where they don't tell you the story like on a silver plate. It's something you have to experience on your own, and this does a great job of that because you don't know why you're doing what you're doing or what's really happening. You get to the ending and you're like, oh my god, and it's really cool. It's really neat. I appreciate that with this studio they do different things, because Eco is a very platformy, combat heavy based game compared to the other ones, and the Shadow of the Colossus is just like you climbing and stabbing one particular spot or shooting a bow to do a particular amount of damage and exploring this big massive world to take down these Colossuses. And Last Guardian is there's no combat. It's really just about surviving with this big giant chicken fur dog thing, you know. And it's really neat. I remember, I think I even bought the shirt before I played the game. Like, I was so into it without playing it, and
Right.
I think that says a lot for me as a gamer, I think. But just because I'm into like just different things, and I like things that aren't really traditional gaming tropes that we're so used to, you know. And this is definitely that. So if you're looking for something really different, this is it, because this is different than what you're probably used to expecting. But it's really fun. It's really cute. It's got a lot of great moments. And the ending will blow you away. The ending's seriously like the highlight of it. So that would be The Last Guardian. So I seriously hate myself for not playing it for so long. But I don't know. Maybe I'll jump back and do the trophies. It's really just to play it again. I don't even really care about getting the plot for this. The game is just so cool. The thing too is, like, looking at the trophy list, I can tell that not a lot of people have played it, because it's either, oh, they beat the game, and that's it. Because all the trophies are less than 1%, like average 1%, less than 1% of people have gotten the trophies for it. And then you have like 20% that beat the game, 20% that beat it in 23% that beat it in less than 15 hours. So it just tells me that not a lot of people play this. This is a game worth playing. I promise you it's worth playing. It's really, really good.
Alright, bud. It's alright, bud. Whatever. There's someone like sitting outside or something, and
Oh,
he's trying to figure out what's going on.
he's fine.
But yeah, no, that's something that another one that I definitely got to check out eventually. But yeah, if there's nothing else you'd like to say on that, probably just go ahead and get into my next one.
Yeah, go for it.
And so this one, it's honestly probably going to be something that a lot of people have already played. It's just one that it's just I never played it for some reason, other than like I would
It's even better, actually.
like I let's go. There's nothing, bud. It's okay. Anyways, like I played it once or twice before now, and I wouldn't get very far into it for whatever reason. But this one is actually, I guess technically the Mass Effect trilogy. I'll just kind of count the whole series because it's
Mm-hmm.
essentially one very massive game and it's on its own.
Yeah.
But I guess in particular, I'm kind of more talking about the first one. Now I'm playing it on the Mass Effect Legendary Edition that came out, I think last year as well.
I think so, yeah.
Um,
Maybe this year, actually.
or yeah, it might have been this year.
Oh, no,
I think
it
it
was
was this
this
year.
year. Or I'll look it up. Go ahead and do your thing.
But anyways, yeah, it's like I play it once or twice before, and like I'd probably get maybe two or three like major, maybe like two major planets into it, and then I would just stop playing it. I think kind of just at the time when I did try to play it, I didn't really like prepare myself for like a big undertaking that it is playing Mass Effect, especially if you want to like really experience like everything that it has to offer.
Oh, there it is.
And of course, me being a big BioWare fan, this was like really when BioWare was like at their prime. This was obviously after Knights of the Old Republic, because partly Knights of the Old Republic is what kicked off Mass Effect. But I think they had done Dragon Age at this time. I'm not too sure. But anyways, for pretty much as most people know, Mass Effect is like one of the big like sci-fi, predominantly Xbox like game series in the industry. And I mean, there's really nothing much more that I can say than what everybody's already heard. It's got a really just in-depth, like real galactic story where there's not really, like you get to experience a lot on like a lot of different planets. The Legendary Edition kind of cleans up a lot of like the clunkiness that the original had, from what I understand. I know one thing that I've noticed is kind of weird. I don't know if it's just me, but the combat is like weirdly like a lot louder than like the general game audio is. Um, like I'll have my volume on like my TV at like a pretty, like not high, but like high enough to where I can like comfortably hear it from my couch. And which it really honestly isn't that high normally, but then when I like start shooting, it like just be incredibly loud for some reason. So it's just like, okay, that's really weird. I don't know if that's just something with the game or just something with like the version that I'm playing maybe. But I mean, I started like I really got into it a couple months ago as kind of I was in kind of like a dry spot of like gaming. I wasn't really like interested in too much, so I wanted to like start something where I felt like I was gonna get absorbed into. And so I decided to go pick up the Mass Effect trilogy. And yeah, just for some reason, like I really like the game. There's a lot to it that it pretty much everything about it interests me. It's a sci-fi RPG. It's pretty in depth with its like RPG like characteristics, and it features like some of the same like voice casts from Knights of the Old Republic, which I really like. And I know I'm literally right at the end, but I was also trying to get as much done for the platinum in one run as I could, because I realized pretty quick that I have to start another character in order to get the platinum trophy for
It's
it.
multiple runs.
And so it's once I realized kind of that I was getting close to like once I go to like a certain place, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a trophy like tied to side missions and all that that I still didn't have, so I'm kind of just trying to go through and pick off like the just most random like side quests that I have, or ones that are like kind of the more like long-standing like continuous ones that you have to keep doing.
Yeah.
And just trying to like clean those all up and hope the trophy pops, which I looked into, and apparently the trophy might be a little glitched to where it might not like pop at this right point that it's supposed to, and you might have to do a few extra side quests, or it could pop early. So it's just like, well, hopefully I even get it.
Yeah.
Because I don't have much left to do as far as I can find. But yeah, other than that, It's a game and game series that has a lot said for it, and there's a pretty big reason for that. I'd say it's probably hard to find a lot of things to dislike about it more than like about it. So, and obviously that goes for the Mass Effect trilogy and not counting Andromeda, but um, well, actually, honestly, what really spurred me wanting to play the original series again was I had played Andromeda for about 2 hours, and then I was just like, if I'm gonna play Mass Effect, I might as well just figure out a way to play the original series.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like maybe a couple weeks after that point is when they announced the remaster. So it was just like, oh, okay, well, there I go. But yeah, if you want to look for a really good sci-fi shooting RPG and for some reason haven't played it, play Mass Effect.
Yeah. I played the original, not that much. And I played 2 for a little bit, and I played a little bit of 3. They're really good. They're masterclass games. I'm never gonna say they're not. They're just not my cup of tea. I much prefer Dragon Age. I prefer just high fantasy, not sci-fi fantasy. They're really good. I pre-ordered Andromeda, and I got that, and I played it for, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 hours, and I just kind of got over it. The combat in the game's really, really good for Andromeda. I love the combat in it. I think it is like flawless. It's fun, it's engaging, it's active.
Right.
It's challenging, and it just stems from the whole dialogue thing. Because like graphical stuff, I can get over. I don't really care about that. I don't care how good a game looks. I like playing everything and anything, whether it looks bad or looks good. I came from an era where graphics really didn't matter. I put the imagination in my head, you know. And so with Mass Effect, it's just, again, the sci-fi stuff does not really do it for me that much. But like Dragon Age and whatnot, I love that, and it's really, really cool. BioWare does a lot of great things, especially classic BioWare with their old stuff. Obviously you have KOTOR, you have, again, the Dragon Age, Mass Effect and stuff, and they've done a lot of great things with those series. And then of course EA took over and really hurt BioWare, which really sucks. I'm hoping with their new game, their new Mass Effect game that should be coming out. We've only got the one teaser for it. We don't really know anything about it. I'm hoping that it is a BioWare product and not just a EA let's make money product.
Right.
Like Andromeda was. But so it's hard for me to really say like, oh, Andromeda was a really shit. And it wasn't bad. It was just, it's not for me. I don't care for science fiction, sci-fi stuff. I prefer like high fantasy, magic, elves, and, you know, Lord of the Rings type stuff. That's just me personally. But as a game, it's really not that bad. I would probably give Andromeda maybe like a 7 out of 10 because it's fun to play regardless. It's fun to play, and the combat's engaging and fun. Obviously, the original Mass Effects, they're fun too. They're up there. They're like 8s and 9s, you know. But they're just something that, I don't know. This just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. It just did not do it for me. I'm not into aliens and stuff like that. I'm into Lovecraft though, but that's more high fantasy than your traditional sci-fi alien type thing. So, I mean, yeah, for whatever reason, if you haven't played it, play it. It's great. It's on sale for really cheap now. At GameStop and other places. It's not the original $60 anymore. It's like the highest right now I think I've seen is $30, and then it's even cheaper from there for like pre-owned stuff. And I got mine pre-owned, and I have yet to jump back in to give it another go, but we'll see. I know it's a dedicated type of thing. I probably won't ever try and get the platinum for it because it requires hundreds of hours, and that automatically turns me away from doing it, from playing the game and platinum it. But no, yeah, it's really good. I think that, like Brod said, if you haven't played it, then what are you doing? Play it. It's worth experiencing and playing for sure. For sure. Okay, do you have another entry, or was that it for you?
Kind of, yeah. There's kind of one that.
Okay, cool. Because I do too, but.
Yeah. Did you have another one that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I did, but I wanted to make sure you had one too. So.
Okay.
Okay, right on.
So
I'll
this
go and
one.
do. Oh, I'll do mine because you did Mass Effect. Um,
Oh yeah.
so here's another game where it was ironic for me. So Last Guardian, it was a year difference. For my next game, it was a 2-year difference that I didn't play it. So in 2017, I went to a little indie event, nothing big. I went to E3 in 2017. Yeah, nothing big, nothing crazy. And I went in 2017. And let me tell you, I'm glad I went in 2017. I know 2018 I had Kingdom Hearts 3 there, and they had the demo and stuff, and I could have played it there, but from what I was told and from what I've seen, and obviously big media outlets, if you pay attention to gaming news, E3 has definitely gone completely downhill in terms of their practice and whatnot. So I'm glad the year I went was like really the last like proper year to do it. I think 2018 was fine. 2019 was rough, but 2018 was, there was some, if you weren't like into a specific game like Kingdom Hearts 3, there wasn't like an insane amount of stuff to show because everything was already coming out. In 2017, we had a lot of great stuff there. I played just about almost everything early. It was awesome. One game in particular, once you play it, they give you a free steelbook. So obviously for me, I was like, cool. I love steelbooks. I would love to do it if I get a free steelbook. Come to find out, the game is Ni no Kuni 2. Big fan of Ni no Kuni 1. Love that game. I love that game on the PS3. I think it was one of my favorites on that system. One of my favorite JRPGs on that system. It's really, really good. I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm like, yeah, that's easy. I went to, I was waiting in line, and there was a voice actress doing like pictures in an interview. It's the voice actress that does, Tina. I think her name's Tina from Bob's Burgers. Let me see. Let me look up Burgers. And, I mean, this part doesn't really matter, but I just want to see cast. Who was it? Oh, no, it's Luis. Christine Schall. She plays Luis Belcher. What else does she do? She did The Last Man on Earth, Gravity Falls, Cloud with Chance of Meatball 2, Despicable Me 2, My Spy, BoJack Horseman, Toy Story 3, Adventure Time, Toy Story 4. So she's been in a lot. I think in Toy Story 3 and 4, she's the dinosaur, the purple dinosaur. So she's a pretty big voice actress. And I don't know why she was there in particular at the Ni no Kuni 2 one. Because I don't think she was in it. She might have been. I don't really know. But so I played the demo for it. I played it twice, actually, because there's 2 different missions you could have done. There's either like a big exploring area or like a boss fight area. I did the boss fight because it was against a dragon the first time. And then they gave you like a little slip of paper that says, here, take this to go redeem your free steelbook. And it's an exclusive steelbook. So the one that came with the collector's edition was different from the one I got. And I thought that was really cool that they did that for an E3 event. But so with Ni no Kuni 2, got the steelbook, went home. The game came out that same year. I didn't play it till 2019, ironically. So again, life gets busy. It was just part of the backlog. It's a big JRPG that requires a lot of hours. I think I don't know how many hours exactly. I probably put maybe not even that much for a JRPG, probably like 50 or 70, in between there somewhere. I got the platinum for it. I immediately went out and found a pop for him, because these sold out like crazy. You can only find a couple of the characters left, so I got one of them. Can't find them now, so I'm glad I got it when I got it. But yeah, Ni no Kuni 2 Remnant Kingdom is such an... If you haven't played the first Ni no Kuni, play this one. It's the type of game series like Final Fantasy where they're not connected. You can play one or the other. I think people would like 2 more than the second game, rather than the first one, just because it's more action oriented. Combat's more about pressing the button to attack and stuff, whereas the first one is much like a lot like Pokemon, where you rely on your little Pokemon esque friends to help you, your little creatures to help you. This one's more like about you and your party of players. The opening of the game is pretty cool. It's really like a what the hell is going on type thing. And it's really neat. I've talked to you about it. So to kind of give you guys a selling point on this, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the very opening of the game. The opening of the game takes place in America. And you're driving a limousine. You're in a limousine. One of the main characters in a limousine as the president of the United States. A big storm happens, and the president gets teleported to the world of Ni no Kuni 2. And so one of the main characters in the game is technically the president of the United States, and it's just weird. So you get the president who has a Glock, who has a gun, and there's like this rat. The main like set of villains are like the big, not really, they're not even like the big bad, they're like the first starting big bad. There's like this rat guy coming at you with a sword, and he shoots him, just straight up point blank, just shoots him with the gun. And it's like, what the hell is happening? I didn't really expect this for Ni no Kuni. Ni no Kuni 1 is very much within its own world. This one takes stuff out of like the real world, puts it in here. He has a gun, and it's like, what the hell? It's really neat. The story's really good. I was really happy that they did such a great job with the story. If you like those Studio Ghibli movies, it's got the same animation style as Studio Ghibli. The cutscenes are the same. The story writers are the same, I believe, too. It has insanely great music. There's just so many good things about it. It's really up there for me. I like the second one more than the first one, but the first one is still really close to my heart. I mean, I have the remaster for it, so I'm gonna replay it eventually. But I mean, that's another game where if you haven't played it, play the first one or the second one. Play either one. I would recommend the second one. I think it's a lot easier for people to get into. But in terms of like for gameplay purposes and whatnot, there's also like a castle defense system. You can build your city and your town, and I like that kind of stuff. Kind of like in like you have Clash of Clans where you collect resources to build up your city, or like Age of Empires or anything like that. It has that aspect in it, not on like a big grand scale, but big enough to where it's still a big part of the game. And it's really, really neat. Easy platinum. There's not a ton of missable stuff. There's just a lot of grinding, but it's a JRPG, so that comes expected. But yeah, this took me 2 years to finally jump in and play. Not only to jump in to play, but to jump in and buy as well. But this is also, again, during a time where with 2017, 2018, then 2019, I was still going through college. And financially, I was having to pay my own tuition out of pocket. And so there's that as a thing. But, I mean, the big gist of it is that I finally got to play it. I'm glad I did. I got to get a steelbook at E3, and I got to play the demo at E3. And I knew it was something that I was going to really enjoy. And it's really fun. It's fun for if you're, again, like JRPGs, like Ni no Kuni, it's something you have to play. It's really, really good. I think I don't know if I would recommend it to you because it's not your type of thing, but if you have a chance to play it, I would say play it. I mean, you can always borrow it, of course. I told Preston that this is something he has to play. This is a must play for him, just to get through. Even if it's just to do the story and nothing else, that's totally fine. It is something completely up his alley because he loves those Studio Ghibli movies now. And it's really, really fun. That is a definite yes, please play for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about it, but I've always been kind of interested in like maybe just trying it out. But it would always kind of not really be if I really have like nothing else I'm really interested in kind of thing, but like more of like if there's just something really like I just want to try just to see if I like it, and there's nothing else that's really like grabbing at me, I'll probably maybe want to try it, but more than likely that'll probably be one that I'll just end up borrowing rather than buying it.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, I've always heard a lot of like really good things by it or about it. Um, and of course, if people are a Studio Ghibli fan, they are involved in it. So I mean,
Yeah.
there's always that angle to it. Um, but yeah, other than that, I mean, these have all been pretty solid games that are would be, I guess, kind of hard to disappoint people that might be interested in them.
Yeah.
So I have one last one, and it's not really one that I mean, it's good. I don't. It's not one that I really recommend on like actively going out and playing it. Mostly because it's a mobile game, so take that as you will. I know you don't have any, you don't have any like kind of inclination to mobile games at all. But I mean, this one was up for a Game Award, so at least there's that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a Marvel's Future Revolution, I think is
Mm-hmm.
what it's called.
Yeah.
And it's not like anything like, oh, it's, you know, it's been around for a while and I'm like finally getting to it, because I honestly think it came out like August, September or something like that. Like it literally just came out a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fairly open world. It's more like kind of set like sandbox open worlds where you can kind of run around to an extent, but nothing real like extravagant.
Yeah.
But pretty much I think right now it's set around you play as like certain characters from the Marvel universe. There's Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, kind of all like the expected ones. I know they just added their first like extra character or whatever, and it was Magic. And each character kind of has like, you know, they fight how you expect them to fight. I decided to just try Magic out just because she was new, and like I play this kind of like every like now and then, just like if I'm like laying in bed and something and don't feel like getting up, I'll kind of just mess around on it for a little bit, or like if I'm waiting for something, I'll just play around with it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like a kind of like hack and slash, like really, she's actually really fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, kind of each character brings their own like kind of different play styles. The whole like concept of the game is there's two like different Earths that are crashing together.
Mm-hmm.
So each like Earth set of like heroes or whatever are banding together and trying to figure out how to like stop everything. Kind of the usual Marvel like cosmic affair thing you would expect, but um, I mean it's pretty solid for a mobile game. It's a lot more fun than I was expecting it to be. Um, I mean I was kind of just hooked on the idea of a like Sorvel, sort of like Marvel RPG light thing. And of course we have that with Avengers, but Avengers is Avengers. Um, but yeah, other than that, it's, you know, it's just more of kind of, I just wanted to shout that out because it's been kind of more unexpectedly fun than I thought it would be. And if, you know, just anybody's interested in mobile games, kind of just for that exact, like you're just waiting on something to happen, or you know, you just want to mess around on your phone, that, you know, that there's always that option. And you like kind of Marvel games and the sort of RPG formula, it's a pretty fun one.
For sure. I might give it a try one day on my iPad, but I just don't like looking at a tiny screen for so long. It just doesn't do it for me. It hurts my eyes, but I know that's kind of like a first world problem type of issue, but like, oh, poor me. But I don't know. It just didn't. The Kingdom Hearts one was the only phone game where I legitimately put time and money into it to play. So take that as you will too. But
Yeah.
I think that that it's definitely a you know, like it's cool. I like the concept. It's great. I don't know. It just, phone games just don't do it for me. Like if I'm at home, I'd rather just play on my console. If I'm
Right.
out of town doing something, I'd rather do the thing I'm out of town for. I just don't ever have time to play. I don't feel like I ever have the real like drive to play something on my phone. The only thing was Kingdom Hearts, and if we're going on a long road trip, that's what my Switch is for. I'll take my Switch out and I'll continue on my Paper Mario playthrough, or I'll go back to my new playthrough for Fire Emblem Three Houses, or even Smash. Like, I'll play something like that on my Switch, especially with how my phone is now. My phone's basically on its last legs. I'm going to end up getting a new one here pretty soon for myself. But, I mean, yeah, there's something for everyone out there. And if you're big in the phone games, it's free. You got a phone, it's free, I'm sure. So it looks like it's something, again, if you're a big Marvel fan, that's a big tie-in for me too, where like it's Marvel, I kind of want to try it, because I tried the Conquest of Champions one, and I got some of the pops from that game, actually. I got the Civil Warrior, for obvious reasons, and then I got Sharon Carter's Captain America from there too. And I mean, yeah, I don't think I have them out though. No, I don't have them out, but there's stuff away somewhere. But no, it's again, it just comes down to I don't like playing on my phone. I'd rather just play on my system, my big TV. Like, if I'm at home, I'm gonna play on here, opposed to playing on my phone. But Kingdom Hearts was the only legitimate one. But that's because it's part of the series.
To the series.
You have to play it and know the story to know what's going on moving forward, especially after 3. And with obviously Melody and Memory, that's another one you have to play. And so those are ones that you have to experience the story for that. So that's a big reason for that. Plus, it's Kingdom Hearts. I mean, anything you slap Kingdom Hearts on it, I'm gonna buy it instantly, except for the chess piece, because I'm not. No, that's too much. That's a bit too much for something you can't actually play a game with.
Right.
But so I don't know. I mean, there's always a ton of stuff on our backlogs. We always talk about our backlogs. Some stuff recent, some stuff not so recent. I'm getting to a point where I'm over trying to keep up with everything and everyone. I'll play them when I feel like playing them. Like, I didn't get Deathloop till much later for its release, like 2 months after its release, and everyone's already done talking about it. I'm like, oh, well, I just got here. Same with It Takes Two. I played that late. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, I played that late. So, I mean, Guardians I played pretty recently. Mortal Shell I played super late, and that's, a big thing. Same with, like, I like just taking my time with stuff. I think the only game that actually released that I got right away and played it right away was, I think, Kenya. I think I got Kenya, I pre-ordered Kenya, I downloaded it right away, and I immediately went to play it. Like, I didn't, like, say, oh, I'll finish something first and then I'll play it. And then same with Plague Tale, in a sense, but that's for obvious reasons, because I love that game. So, otherwise, it's just been trying to clear up a lot of my backlog. There's a lot of cool things, a lot of great games that are on my backlog right now. I'm finally getting through a lot of them. But I'm also continuously buying some. There's one game that just came out recently that I have in my cart. I'm probably going to buy it today, maybe, because I think I got paid today. It is kind of like a knockoff of Shadow of the Colossus, but with more open world aspect to it and more stuff to do in the world. There's crafting, there's surviving, there's regular combat with normal sized enemies, and then the big Shadow of the Colossus type enemies that you have to fight. I will probably be buying that and playing that. It looks like a lot of fun. And I've been watching it and keeping up to date with it for a while. It's called Pray for the Gods. It's spelled Praey. And it finally released. They just dropped it out of nowhere too. There wasn't any warning or anything. Just said, okay, it's out now. And said, okay, sweet. I'm probably going to buy it then right away. It looks really fun, but our backlogs are ever continuing. I still haven't done that Matrix Awakens thing. It's supposed to be really short, so I might just do it just to get it out the way and check it out. I have a friend was asking me about it and saying, hey, can you try it and let me know? I'm probably going to play the Spider-Man remastered, the Marvel Spider-Man remastered for PS5 for obvious reasons, because I'm in a big Spider-Man mood. But our backlogs are always growing, and they always will because that's just gaming and we love gaming. Is there anything else on your backlog list that you can't wait to get to?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head, even though I was just going through it the other day.
I have to update mine. I have a lot, but...
Oh, well, A Plague Tale is one of them, because I know we got that free a couple months ago, and I've been kind of wanting to just get into that just so I can know what's up with it.
Oh, yeah, I definitely gotta go through these again.
Other than that, I have the 2 Destroy All Humans games. I remember I bought the ports of those, and then I think it was like 2 weeks later they announced that they were remastering the first one, and so I think I just got mad and decided not to play them right away.
Yeah.
I was kind of annoyed at the... I mean, I spent, I think it was maybe like $15 for the 2. And I was like, you know what, yeah, I've been wanting to play those games again. Like, let me just go ahead and get them. And then, yeah, I saw the remaster, and it was just like, really? Like, I might as well just waited.
Yeah.
But other than that, not really. It's kind of more just a lot of, like... Honestly, a lot of it is just, like, the PS Plus games that I picked up here and there that looked interesting, and then I just never actually played them. Yeah, honestly, that's what a lot of it is. I spent pretty much this whole year just hitting a lot of like the backlog games that have just been sitting there, and
for sure,
because obviously, for obvious reasons, everything like slowed down gaming wise.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, there's still a lot that like I like bought in random sales and then never played. Like, I got the first and second Watch Dogs games. I have a couple of the Valkyrio Chronicles ones. Honestly, a lot of it is just games that went on sale for really cheap that I knew like I wanted to play, and I was, you know, like at least I just have them now, so they're always there.
Yeah. I got the Mafia collection. I got a ton of the Resident Evil spin-off.
Yeah, because I got, what is it, Valkyria Chronicles 4?
I got some of the YS games. I got the Dead Island collection too, with all the Dead Island games.
Valkyria Revolution, something like that. What the fuck is it called?
The Ninja Gaiden one, I have that. I have not played it.
Yeah, Valkyria Revolution and then Valkyria Chronicles 4. I played the demo of Valkyria Chronicles 4 and liked it, and that's honestly why I bought it. And I think it was just packaged, the one that I got was packaged with Valkyria Revolution, so it was just whatever. I have another one to play. I know for that series they're the same as pretty much like the Final Fantasies and all that. Like, none of them are really connected, so...
I was gonna say you are so off, but yeah.
Well,
pretty much. They're saying like this. They're like saying like the same universe, kind of. They're just, the characters aren't interwoven together. But it's basically like a take on like World War II. And it's like tactical, like turn-based combat style stuff. And I played it on the Switch, and partway through I was like, why am I playing this on my Switch? I should just have gone this for my PlayStation. So those are some games I need to get to also. I just bought Dynasty Warriors 9 recently. I bought Magicka 2 finally. I bought Hat in Time finally, and I finally plat that and got through it. Really incredible game. And then I have so many here: Evo Land, Legendary Edition, Necropolis, The Technomancer, Shadows of Adam, Regalia, Royal Edition, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, Final Fantasy 9, Hellpoint. I gotta get to Ashen, Arya, Secret of the Seasons. Like, I've bought so many games that I just have not even, like, going through my list, have not even got to. I forgot I have Oddworld Soulstorm, which is a good thing because I almost bought it on Black Friday. My backlog just goes on and on. Still haven't played Cuphead. I have that, and I've had that for years. Still have not played it. For the King stuff, haven't played it. Are you gonna get back to Kingdoms of Amalur?
Yeah, honestly, that one, that's like my relax game. I know they just released a new DLC for it that I was a little bummed because honestly, I kind of assumed it was free, and then I realized it's like $15 or
Yeah.
20 or something like that. So, I'm just kind of slowly making my way through that game just because I really like want to enjoy it because I know if I like sit down and just play that, I'm gonna blow through it,
Mhm.
and I don't really want to do that with that game. So it's kind of like every few days or so, I'll go in, I'll knock out like a few quests or uh, try to work on like some trophies and stuff.
Mhm. Another great game. Another great game that took you a while to get to. That's a big one actually. But like I said, they're ever growing. I have been recently downloading a lot of games and playing multiple stuff at once. I still haven't finished Deathloop. Big, why'd you do that? I started Biomutant, left that to go do Chronos Before the Ashes. I've been trying realistically. I think the big thing is I want to get through games as fast as possible before the year ends to knock them
Mm-hmm.
out. I think I'm up to 31 platinums this year now. Um,
Oh,
but
Biomutant is kind of a big one I really want to get into.
it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Um, I wouldn't say it's crazy good, but it's pretty fun. Um, so that will be one you can also borrow from me whenever I finish it. Because I have it. It's pretty fun. You know, it's a big map. There's a lot of exploring to do. The combat's decent. Um, I love that it takes a lot of big D&D per like character creator stuff with the stats. I really think it's cool. There's a lot of great things. Obviously, It Takes Two, which won Game of the Year, which I'm personally really happy for. If it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
Deathloop, I wanted It Takes Two to win. I'm glad it did. It Takes Two. It's hard to really just really say why, but there's a lot of great things for. So I play this with my fiance, and we played A Way Out together, and we both loved it. I said, "Oh, we'll play this one." She loved it. I loved it more because I got every single reference they put into the game and all the little secrets and stuff. Like I understood that on a deeper level, which tells me that this just has a little bit of everything for everyone. Someone who's not in the gaming industry and not part of it and not that doesn't pay attention to it, to someone who is fully devoted his life into the gaming industry and understanding all the stuff that they put in it and everything. And I know you haven't played either It Takes Two or A Way Out. And those are, I think A Way Out you would like more, but I think you would appreciate It Takes Two for all like the references and stuff that it does. But I prefer It Takes Two for that reason. It's just really really neat and it's really really cool. It's really a game that is worth exploring into and playing for sure. I have it. If you want to borrow it and play it with Morgan, by all means do it. It's really really cool. It's really fascinating. It's a truly special game, and I'm glad it won Game of the Year. I know some people are pretty bummed about it, but realistically, looking at the rest of the games, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Tales of Arise won, and that's all that matters to me. And then we had the PlayStation Choice Awards as well. I voted for that. Tales of Arise got a lot of more recognition there. So we'll see what happens with that. But I mean, in any
Okay.
case, if you haven't played any of the games we've listed, try them out. They're worth trying. I promise you, The Last Guardian's good. I promise you, you're gonna really like Ni no Kuni 2. I promise you, you're gonna like a lot of these games that are out. There's a lot of great things that are coming out too. We're excited. Probably not gonna get to them right away because we got a lot more stuff to go through. I'm probably gonna start Spider-Man today because I'm in such a Spider-Man mood. I saw No Way Home last night, and that's all I'll say because I don't want to put that out in the universe yet. So we'll see. I'm going again
No,
today. I'm probably gonna go again tomorrow. That's just saying enough. But I'm also a big movie lover, also, especially when it comes to Spider-Man. But
yeah.
anyway,
It's
thank you all.
already.
What's up?
I said it's already all over the place, so I gotta try to see it soon,
Yeah,
or
definitely.
else basically I'll see the whole movie on uh,
Yeah,
social
social
media and
medias
all
and
that.
stuff for sure, for sure. I feel like this is a movie you just have to see right away. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Not even just for spoiler's sake. It is a movie you have to go watch. This is like the must-see of the end of the year thing. If there's anything you leave the house for, to do anything fun, you go watch Spider-Man. Even if you aren't big on movies, superhero movies, or anything like that, this is not only a perfect Spider-Man movie, this is a perfect movie in general. This is like really, really good. This is a huge deal. This is a big cinematic event of the century. It's really, really good. It not only it does what it set out to do and more, and it's just really cool. It's really, really neat. I'm excited to go watch it again. And again, that's all I'll say. It is a perfect movie and a perfect Spider-Man movie. It is pretty perfect in my humblest opinion. Being as objective as possible, that's where my score is. Now, if I'm being personal and subjective, it's like 10 million out of 10. But obviously that score doesn't exist, but that's just how I feel about it. So we'll see. In terms of like games we're excited for, I don't think it really matters because we got a lot of backlog to get through anyway. The both of us do. So next year's going to be a very slow new game buying year for me because I'm just going to go through it because I have so many in my backlog now that I just keep buying, and for me at least that's going to be a huge thing. Obviously Elden Ring. Shout out to Bandai Namco for screwing up their new website for the release of the premium collector's edition, which I could not get unfortunately, but I still got the base collector's edition thankfully, so I'm happy with that. It's fine. I'm at least getting one of them. It is what it is. I'm sure some schmuck is gonna sell the helmet the life-size helmet that comes with the premium
Probably
separately on eBay. So if I have to get it that way, I'll get it that way. But we were cutting it close on getting that damn collector's edition. I tell you what, because the website would just not work. So thanks to Bandai. Love you though. I'll still play your games. Doesn't matter. I'll still play your stuff. Anyway, friends, thank you so much for watching. This has been RPGamers, Retrospective Gamers, where we retrospectively talk about games that we love and care about. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
see you guys.